Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. So yesterday I uploaded a video in which I predicted all the characters that I think we are going to be getting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for the year 2025. And in this video, I wanted to make another Duel Links related prediction video, but do it a little differently because I think this is the year where predicting the world is very, very difficult. In every year during September, we have gotten a new world, whether it was GX World, Dark Side of Dimensions World, 5D's World, so on and so forth. We have gotten a new world with a plethora of new characters and unlocks and a lot of hype around that new world. In this video, I'm going to be going over 5 possibilities from least likely to most likely, in my opinion, for what type of world we are going to be getting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links later this year. Please leave your predictions down below, and I hope you all enjoy. Number 5, Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 World. Hear me out. This is very, very, very unlikely, like less than 1% of likeliness happening, but there is a reality, I suppose, where maybe the 9th Yu-Gi-Oh! Show gets announced within the next month and shockingly starts in April. Even though we are through Jump Festa, we are through that Go Rush special that aired in early January, and we do not have any news regarding the next main core anime, I guess there still is a very teeny tiny possibility that Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 will start in April right after Go Rush ends, assuming Go Rush ends in March, and that could lead to whatever Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 is going to be, that world coming to Duel Links later in September. Now, in my personal opinion, I have this as the least likely option of the 5 possibilities because I do not genuinely believe there is much of any chance that Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 is going to start in April. I think the earliest and best case scenario at this point is a fall 2025 start, which of course would happen after the September world would have had to come out, meaning that Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 World certainly will not be added to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. It's a very small possibility, but there is still, I guess, a little tiny bit of hope, and so I had to mention it as a possibility for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links 2025 world. Number 4, Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG Structures World. So this is a world that I have seen speculated by actually a lot of different people, and I get why people would like to see this world in the game. The OCG Structures manga is a pretty enjoyable read, and it has a lot of new characters that we've never really seen outside of the OCG Structures world, and so I think a lot of people would love to see those characters have a little bit more personality, voice lines, yada yada yada, and I get why people believe that OCG Structures is a viable option. I have it very low on this list. And even though I do think it's a possibility, I also think this is a really small one for a few different reasons. OCG Structures has always remained a manga, meaning all of the characters don't have voice actors. So Konami would have to hire voice actors to play the roles of all of these characters just for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which to me seems like it's a little more work than they would like to have to do to cast all of those characters. Furthermore, this is a product that has never released outside of Japan. This is a product that has only been in OCG territories, and they have not made any effort to translate it to English. Now, I know some people might say, well, Dylan, what about Rush Duels? Rush Duels haven't come outside of the OCG. Yeah, but the animes, Sevens and Go Rush, have both gotten English dubs. The Go Rush dub actually starting this weekend, funny enough. And so those characters do have, dialogue and lines already translated to English, so that when they were added to Duel Links, there weren't any extra steps in casting all of those characters to have voice actors so you could put them into Duel Links. I think OCG Structures is very unlikely, but I am including it as a possibility for sure. Number 3, No New World. I know some people might say, hey, this doesn't count as a world possibility, but I think it definitely should, because I think there's a very good chance that we do not get a new world for 2025, and maybe we never get a new world in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links again. It's Brad as HD, a good friend of mine, great dude. I've known him for many, many years. He made a prediction video not too long ago, which I definitely implore you check out, and he predicted that we would not be getting a new world in 2025. So this would be number 1 if he was making a list like this for his list. I have it at number 3, but these top 3 possibilities I all put at pretty even percentages of happening. I guess at the end of the day, it's hard for me to believe that they are not going to do a new world. I know all good things have to come to an end at some point, but for every single year, we have gotten a new world in this game, and until it doesn't happen, I'm just one of those people that it's hard for me to believe it's not going to happen. But with no new main core anime, they would definitely need to be scratching the bottom of the barrel in order to add a new world to Duel Links this year. And so I do think the likelihood of us just not getting a new world is definitely decently strong, but I do have it at number 3 because I think there are 2 more options that are slightly more likely. Number 2, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters Anime World. Now, some people might be confused at this entry. This is what I predicted actually for 2024 before we ended up getting Go Rush World for 2024. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters is, of course, a world in Duel Links, but it is based on the manga. If you pay attention to the storylines that they do, if you pay attention to character scripts and all that stuff in the events, it is very clearly based off the manga, which is why we have not gotten any filler character that was not present in the manga. So what I propose with a DM anime world is you can get all those Duel Monster anime filler characters that were not present in the manga. Noah Kaiba, Raphael, Darts, Siegfried, Leon. There's a lot of characters that you could add, and I think it does tie in with that Duel Monsters nostalgia OG hype that could get a lot of people really interested in the game again that maybe have dropped it as it's gotten a little complicated now that we have pretty much all of the mechanics in the game. You know, there are people that only watch the original and probably stopped playing Duel Links when they added synchros. Well, maybe you could get some of those people back if you added some of those older OG filler characters. I don't know if many people would be hyped for them because at the end of the day, they are filler characters, but I feel like Darts and Raphael and Siegfried, Noah, I feel like some of them are, you know, legitimate enough that would get people decently excited. So I do think that that's a big possibility because we know they love their Duel Monsters, and I think this has a real chance to come to the game in 2025. Number 1, the Chronicles Monster World. Now, if you watched my video yesterday where I predicted all of the character unlocks, you knew that this was going to be my number 1 pick. And I have gone back and forth with this and the Duel Monsters anime world for weeks leading up to making these videos. And again, I also think that no new world is like slightly below, has a decent likelihood as well. But I do think with the Chronicles anime short coming out starting in April, I do think that they are going to lean into this and make this a world. I think having characters like Ray and Rose and Ecclesia and Albaz and any other monster characters would really excite a lot of people that play the main game and maybe don't care about the mainline anime as much. And there are a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh fans that fit that description 100%. I think they would get very excited for the chance to play as Ray. And guess what? All of these characters are going to have voice acting. You will not need to hire new voice actors, maybe on the English side, sure, but you would not need to hire new voice actors in order to play these characters over in Japan because that production is already going to have voice acting. The characters don't need to really like interact with each other all that much. Like it could be just, you know, very brief interactions and generic lines, and the events could just be like a Sky Striker event or an Albaz event, and it would just be contained to the characters within that lore. I think it would be really, really exciting. You know, the more I think about it, the more I'm unsure that they would actually do it, but I don't know. I feel like they are going to lean into that production, especially because it's their first ever anime production, Konami Animation Studios. This is their debut product, and what better way to shill your own product than to add the world into one of your more popular mobile games this coming September. I think there's a real shot it happens, and I'm going to be really interested to see what route they go in 2025. Thank you guys all so much for watching. That is 5 possibilities for a new world in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links 2025. But I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. How would you rank these 5 possibilities that I've laid out? And are there any possibilities that I didn't even mention in my top 5 that you think have a decent likelihood of happening? I would love to hear from all of you down below in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.